Now, before installing the system, the first thing you want to do when you get it is rock. You want to rock the bottles. That'll take all the ink that's in the isobaric chamber when it was shipped and move it to the front chamber, the ink chamber. And on some of the printers, because of the extra paper trays and how high the sides are, I suggest that you put a box down and set it on top of a box like that. Now, anything, if you got to go at least 1 inch below the top here. So if you open it up, you want to keep it at least 1 inch below the top, especially on the 3600 series, the Precision Core, and the 7600 series Precision Core. Now, after you rock the bottles and then you install the system, you want to make sure that you open up the front of the ink tank and open up the small air plug holes. I'll show you that in a minute. Now, to install a system, you want to go to Setup. You want to go to Ink Levels. Cartridge Replacement. This way, it'll move the cartridges over to the cartridge change position. Now you can open it up. Now, I recommend at this time that you unplug the printer so it doesn't move on you. Take out the cartridges, whether they be the Epson or the refillables that we sell. Take them all out. You've already rocked the bottles. Now you're going to take the cartridges and we're going to slip them right through the opening. You don't have to take anything off the printer. We're just going to go right through the opening here. Take your time. It's going to go right on through. You don't have to take anything off. And then you're going to go, we're going to snap it down. You hear all the clicking. There's a click. It's tough over here, so take your time. Because if you don't click it in, I push that tab, you'll get cannot recognize. Now we can drop this. I want to point this out. There's a little part of this lid that has a lip. I want to make sure it goes behind these tabs. So when you put it in, take your time. You want to make sure it goes behind them. And yet it still stays clipped in. Now we're going to put the hose bracket, the main hose bracket, right here. Now on the 7600 series, it's a little different. I'll show that in the next video. Okay, now there's a center hose bracket, looks like this. You peel the back tape off of it, and I go right in the center, like right there. Just like that, and I press it down. Now the hose is going to come around and go through like this. You don't want it bent up, or you just want to make sure it comes off. It goes through that hose bracket and then comes back out, and then we're going to do hose trap. Okay, now I just peel. I stuck the main hose bracket. The hose is coming off, going around. There's another hose bracket I put right here. Now I'm going to manually move this. That looks good. You don't want it too tight or too loose. That's it. We're done. That's how simple it was. Now, we got to make sure that we open this up and those. Okay, now I opened up the ink tank, and now we've got to open up the little vent plugs in the back of the isobaric chamber. Don't open up the front, just the back. That's always got to be open. They always got to be open when you're using the system. That's it. That's how simple it was. Now I'm going to go and plug it in and turn it on. Now on the 7600 is identical. The only difference is we use a different hose bracket. Okay, now the system's in. I've done hose travel. I've plugged everything back in. I put the jumper plug in that interlock so it thinks the lid is closed all the way. Let's turn it on. Now you should get an error code because we unplugged it and now we plugged it back in. And if the cartridges are not in correctly, you can get an error code. Printer error, turn the printer off, turn it back on. Sometimes you'll see that. Now after that error code, it says the print head nozzles may be clogged. I'm going to say OK because I want to prime the system up. So you're going to push on OK. Cannot recognize the following cartridges. That's because I may not have them snapped in correctly. So let's hit proceed. Put your hands on the side. Now that's when you want to remove the interlock jumper. Then it's going to think you opened at the top. And the cartridges are going to move over. This is common, so you're going to see this. So you want to open up this and make sure that you're clicking down these plugs. Now the top one is the one there, the magenta. See, I just clicked it all down. I want to make sure when I shut it that they don't hit on the tabs. Now this goes the same if you had pigment ink, dye-based ink, or sublimation ink. Doesn't matter. Now I press check. Now I've got to put this lid plug back in. Going to check cartridges. Let's see if I get any more error codes. Now I got them snapped in correctly. Now it's going to say that you've not installed genuine Epson cartridges. That is correct. So you want to say proceed. Proceed. Keep doing this till you get through all the codes. Yes, you want to continue to use it. Close the scanner unit. That means this plug is not down in. See? So you want to make sure that you get the plug back down in there. Now you get no more error messages. That's it. That's how simple it was to install our CIS auto refill system. Now, if you're going to install the continuous ink system on the Workforce 7600 series, you're going to put the little hose bracket in the center. It's a little bit different than the 3600 series. The hose is going to come out, wrap around, and come back out. Now on that printer, because there's extra trays, you've got to lift the CIS up. But the only difference is we're using a different type of hose bracket here than on the 3600 series.